Yo guys, welcome back to another video, and as you can see we did manage to get 530 billion, I think. 530 billion. I did see a few comments on our last video, but yeah, more people getting 700 billion, people saying they got 2.5 trillion. But yeah, that was during the bug. If you guys didn't know, Jin Mori had a bug where he would make it so you could infinitely stack the damage, and they did patch it because of the tournament, so they did went out of the way to patch it. And yeah, them patching it means they reset brackets. So if you guys are wondering why your brackets are different, they've reset them. So I did get, was it my trait strat I did post initially, and then I also got my trait score right here. So in terms of the team setup, let me run you through it because a lot has changed since the initial team. So yeah, let me save it. I think this is the initial team. Yeah, it was. So let me place it here. And yeah, this is what the team is. Did I just... Yo, did I just load this instead of... Son! Oh my days. So basically... No, I'm being stupid. That is the team. Yo, my brain is turned off. I'm not logged in. Sorry. So you want Ainz, Uma, Naruto, Pain, Astolfo, and Brook. So these are the familiars I did run on them. So I've got a bird on you, a bird on you, a bird on you, and then a nose familiar, which is very important for Pain. I want you guys to make sure you have that. And then I did run a Fu on my Astolfo, and then another Burb on my Brook, just so he has more crit chance, crit damage, and more range. And then in terms of the Memorias, let's go into them. So Ainz, I gave him this Enthusiast Jack of All. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. His damage is kind of like ass because we're only going to be using the full AoE spell from the Passion, which is Aura of Despair, but he's not really slowing, he's not really applying Despair because it is immunity, so his damage is pretty ass, so you can just run whatever you want on him. And then for Uma, it's quite important to run Shackled Sights. It's just so you don't take the risk of them revitalizing. Yes, I do know Naruto's applying Nullify, but in some cases, you know, it's gonna be very chuddy and they do revitalize. It does happen a few times. So the Naruto while running his own Memoria, I do have Deadeye on it. So if you get Deadeye early on like me, just keep it. Or if you get Divinity, just keep as well. Then for Pain, I run his own Memoria with Jack of All. And then this one for Astolfo does not really matter. You can just run a Jack of All, regardless of what it is. Just any Jack of All or Fortune 3. Even a Ranger boost can work on this guy. And then also for my Brook, I run Enthusiast Walk with Deadeye, so he has higher crit chance and higher crit damage, and also he's doing 30% more damage to bleeding enemies. So that's it for the team setup. I do also run Whitebeard or Destroyer, Enthusiast Walk on him, and as you can see, I did not even have a familiar, so I could have given more range via familiar, which I should have done, but it's all good. So I would recommend running a C3 chopper on him. So yeah, that's it for the team setup. Let's just get into the actual run. I'm not trying to waste a lot of your time because we're flipping. Okay, I'm on the YouTube part. No, but we're on like flipping 7.8 KCCU, man. W game, bro. W game. Anyway, let's just get into this, man. Okay, so first things first, we're going to be placing our Uma slightly back, slightly further than usual, because we don't have Zoro, so we don't have to worry about placing near the front or near the middle. So we're placing back here, because we're going to be using Ainz's range to utilize his range and making sure that he can cover the enemy's base. So I run Aura of the Overlord and Aura of Despair on him, so run those two spells in that order. And then make sure you're doing your Uma stats. It's pretty self-explanatory in terms of what you have to do with them. But yeah, next up I place Pain like slightly up here. And yeah, using Naruto's transformation, things should be very easy. You won't really have to worry at all. This run does not really get hard until wave 30 boss. And yeah, even when the wave 30 boss comes, you can kill him off pretty easily. Once you kill him off, clearing up the mobs is not too hard as well. So yeah, the last strat I was stuck at the back, but this time round, I'm not really stuck at the back. You'll see what I mean. And yeah, this time managing Brook as well is kind of frustrating, but if you use the auto-clicker method, it's not too hard. So yeah, as long as you manage things perfectly, you should be fine. You want to make sure you have your Uma at least maxed out. And if you guys did not see here, I made sure to put one upgrade into my Uma, and then I put some upgrades into my Irons, so he's at least attacking enemies. I don't want him to lose his 20% range buff that he's applying, the Aura of the Overlord buff, because I'd have to wait until the enemies enter his range again, and then for him to activate it again, it's just so long. And it means I lose a discount on my units. So yeah, I just constantly upgrade my Irons until he hits a certain amount of range. So for now, the focus is into my Irons until he hits that bend where the enemy's just turned. When he hits that bend and he can hit it consistently, that's when you can easily just stop upgrading him and put your money into your main focus, which is your Pain. Your main carry, to be honest. Because he's going to be spawning all the Naruto clones, allowing you to get into that Kurama mode constantly. Because like when he attacks, he's the one who makes you go into that Kurama mode. So right here, boom. And yeah, make sure you're constantly doing your Uma stats. I would recommend doing it at the start of every wave just so you don't forget. Because if you delay it to like the end of the wave, you might just forget and miss it. So yeah, this boss does spawn in, but not really an issue. We've got Ainz's cost reduction on our Pain. And of course the Jack of all cost reduction, so he's gonna be 15% cheaper than usual, so not too bad. So yeah, we're just getting any upgrades into him as much as we can. For now, things should not be hard. This boss will be kind of annoying because we don't really have any bleed units. But yeah, when our Uma does apply the Shackled Sights bleed, it makes things a lot easier because, of course, the boo is not regenerating. So yeah, it's pretty much just waiting until that input comes in, and then that's where you can focus your Kurama swings. So yeah, at this point, he's bleeding, that's why he's taking a lot of damage. And then once the bleed effect wears off, he just starts regenning. But at this point, you have a lot of Narutos at the back, you don't have to worry, and it just kills off so easily. And yeah, here I was just checking if the Pain would actually hit the bend where I had my Irons hit. And he does, so if your one does not hit, move him slightly forward in terms of initial placement. And yeah, you guys can see that I'm using my auto clicker. I did pull it up. If you guys don't know what I'm doing here, check my channel. There is a YouTube Shorts video on how to do this. It's not too hard to understand, but yeah, it just makes the run a lot quicker. Just utilizing the auto clicker. But yeah, as I was saying, you don't have to worry about your Pain because you're going to be able to use the Stolfor's 10% range buff to allow him to hit slightly further. So yeah, once you do the stuff for Hippogriff, all the units that were there just gain 10% more range. So yeah, Pain's able to hit that bend as well, which is very nice. And yeah, that way you should be constantly in Kurama mode because around this time your Pain should still be constantly hitting these enemies. And yeah, where I am standing right now for Kurama is a very ideal spot in terms of his swings. I'm pretty sure his it's like a large circle with 40 range, so yeah, if you can pretty much get the correct position for this Kurama swings, it makes your run so much easier. So if you want, you guys can go into sandbox and test it around, but as long as you have it correct, it should make things so easy. So we just Hippogriff back, you can see one thing I did forget was to give the spellbook to my Uma. My bad, I was yawning. But yeah, you wanna make sure you give a spellbook. Oh, my day's voice crack. You wanna make sure you give your spellbook to Uma because it's very important. But yeah, wave 20 boss should not cause any issues. The wave 30 boss is slightly annoying because he has a lot of HP. Here I was wondering where to place my Naruto, but I do place him slightly back in an optimal spot right here. So place Naruto here, use the ninjutsu onto one of the Pain spawns that he does spawn in via his passive when he attacks and gets stunned. So yeah, ninjutsu your Naruto onto one of those Narutos, and that way you can have Naruto set to last, and you can see how much enemies he's covering, you know, it's a lot. He's covering a lot of enemies. And yeah, at this point, all your units should be placed down. The only unit that is not placed down is your caloric stone, who is going to be your white bid. And at this point, I do max my Uma. Out with 25, by the way. And you keep constantly doing your Uma stats. Whenever you see like every 5 minutes, or when you see 5 minutes has elapsed, you're gonna make sure you do your Brook buff again every 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm just maxing all my units, and at this point all units are maxed. And we don't really have to worry about anything. Just keep doing my Uma stats, that's all you have to do. And yeah, here I do caloric my white bid in, I place him right here. And since he's getting that 10% from Astolfo and also the 20% from Irons, he's going to be having a decent amount of range. And I do also have marksman on him, and I did mention in the intro, I did forget to put a familiar on him. So if I gave him a familiar, he would have more range as well. So yeah, white bid can cover a lot of spot. Well, a lot of spot, what I mean, a lot of space, and yeah, it's very good. So yeah, now at wave 30, I do make sure to do my Uma stats, and of course my Brook buff real quick. So get this Brook buff off, and then quickly focus the Naruto swings just to clear off these mobs. And yeah, keep doing your Uma stats, all you have to do. Just keep doing them. And you have to focus this boss, by the way, focus. So you have to spear him, give your spellbook instantly to Astolfo at this point. I mean not Astolfo, your Uma. And just keep Naruto swinging onto this boss. That's the main important part. And making sure you get your Uma stats in as well. Because if you forget, it's gonna negatively affect you in terms of the long run. So yeah, at this point, since Pain is gonna be attacking every 8 seconds, you're gonna have like 1 or 2 seconds downtime off your Naruto transformation, but it's all good because Pain's constantly attacking, so he's gonna keep just doing this and causing the transformation. So if you saw that, I used my spellbook onto my Uma just to make sure I have that extra damage. And yeah, I'm just constantly following this boss. It should die off any moment now. So yeah, just getting these swings in and making sure you hit him at all times. And yeah, at this point he is dead, so things are very nice. And yeah, we just climb slowly back up. The enemies are not too strong because our Naruto and all our units have such a high overhead and a high damage number that these swings are doing a shit ton of damage. I'm just going back into the optimal smart, and I'm just non-stop swinging, just holding my left mouse button, and you can see that these guys are getting dealt with, you know. Even though I am getting a decent amount of leaks, they are the slow ones, so they'll get killed off. Don't really have to worry at all. And yeah, in prep for the final boss, which is the wave 41, I made sure to turn my auto skip off for slightly, I guess for a bit, because I did want to let the enemies get killed off. But since I want to prioritize getting my Uma up, I did turn auto skip back on. Not really on, but I skipped the wave slightly early instead of waiting the full 30 seconds, you'll see. So you can see the gap between the mobs and the path is seen. The mobs are getting dealt with, and that's because our units have such high damage numbers. And yeah, at this point, I've realized that there's no point in even auto skipping off, so I turn auto skip on and get my Brook buff ready just to make sure I get it off. And yeah, at this point I do my Brook buff real quick. And yeah, after I've done it, oh my days, another voice crack, oh my days. And after I've done it, I make sure to not really follow this boss, but make sure I kill these enemies and deal with them. So you can see at this point, the leaks do get slightly bad. These are the very fast ones as well, so they have a lot of HP. So one thing I should have done is follow those guys. But I make sure to use my Astolfo spear at that point. And I'll also use my Brook nuke onto these clones spawned in my Astolfo. just so I can clear off all these enemies at the back. And I did have 3 leaks. Luckily, one of the leaks died, so it didn't really affect me negatively. But yeah, at this point I'm just non-stop following in the same spot that I've always been in. But I'm making sure to clear off some leaks as well. Going back into the optional spot plus also clearing the leaks. And at wave 43 you have to turn auto skip off. And I use White Biz Nuke at this point just to make sure someone dies. And I set him to closest, by the way, closest. So constantly just swinging and swinging and swinging, and I look back just to make sure that Boo is about to die. So when he's about to hit your base, you click yes. And yeah, that's it for the strat. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.